All right, guys, let's stop the grinning and hoist the linen. This whole trilogy story really is a story of family and faith, and I think that's really what we'd like to see as our legacy.
The Hawaiian culture learned to live so harmoniously with their environment, and that harmony that they shared with the environment and with each other are things that we can still learn from today. My wife is Hawaiian, my children are Hawaiian, and I feel it's also really important to carry on that tradition in our family as well as our family business.
When you share that spirit of aloha from within, this is what attracts the people. You know, they say, wow, you live in a really good island, your people are so genuine. It's because you gotta walk in that.
It's a blessing to live here.
And of course, it's one speed, yeah, slow. So.
It's like a family, actually, working with Trilogy. And I love sharing our island with everyone that Trilogy brings in.
We end up with a crew that stick around a long time because they actually become part of the family, and they actually tell me the same thing, that they feel they're accepted and they feel they're valued. And we actually treat this like a family, but like a profession too, that if they want to do this for a real long time in their life, they can.
I think a lot of people make the mistake of coming to Hawaii and thinking they're going to change the islands, when in fact just the opposite is true if you really embrace the islands. The islands actually change you.
They grew up on the sea. Patricia, Jim, and Randy. Their parents, Jeanette and Eldon Coon, owned a 62-foot charter boat, the Manana, out of Ketchikan, Alaska. Business was good, but the charter season in Alaska was short, only 4 months a year.
He always longed for the tropics. He used to envy the birds when they went south in the wintertime. They're the smart ones, so.
Then in 1969, the outgoing tide settled Manana on a submerged piling, and she sank at her mooring. It proved to be a turning point for the family. They sold their house, took the money, and built a new boat themselves, a trimaran they named Trilogy. Their plan? To sail away to the South Pacific and perhaps on around the world.
Trilogy means 3 units tied together by one common theme, and so there were 3 hulls, and there were 3 of us that built the boat, and it took 3 times as long to build and cost 3 times as much as we'd planned.
The family squeezed aboard their boat and set forth on an incredible adventure. They sailed from port to port, down the west coast, to Mexico, Central and South America, the Galapagos Islands, and the Marquesas.
You know, it was a wonderful experience because we got acquainted with each other. Most people just don't really have a chance to talk endless hours with their kids after they're grown. Their kids go on and do other things, and we were here in this place where there was no place to go. We had to use each other for entertainment.
After cruising for 2 years, the family decided to turn north to Hawaii to look for work.
Lanai reminded us the most of any place that we visited here in Hawaii of some of the remote areas in the South Pacific, some of the villages that we'd enjoyed. People very friendly, very much a family environment, and we were a family, and they just accept us as part of the community.
I thought I'd sailed into a little southeastern Alaskan town with great weather.
They decided to turn Trilogy into a charter boat and offer trips from Lahaina to the island of Lanai.
First, Eldon was the only one with a captain's license at that time, and the boys were along to do all the other stuff, which was considerable. Eldon used to go out and cut the dead branches out of the trees and bring them back and make a kiawe fire, and that was what he barbecued the chicken on.
I remember Mr. Coon, Sr., used to come here a lot on his boat, and my dad often used to talk with him because my dad used to do a lot of net fishing on the north side right there. And on the way back, they'd stop right under there, and Mr. Coon be cooking up his stuff. And of course, you know, here's the little fish, and here's the little chicken, and you know, then that's how they got to know about the Coons.
The family decided to model their Lanai tours around the adventure they had sailing the South Pacific.
I got myself into the cinnamon roll baking.
The Trilogy business flourished, carrying 6 visitors at a time.
And when Jim started talking about taking more, his dad said, "Boy, if you do, you get yourself another cook." I'm not working anymore.
But as word of the Coons' hospitality spread, the business grew. Soon they needed more boats and crew.
Actually, Dave was the first person outside of the immediate family that we hired to work for us. I mean, he came sailing in with a big sign that says, "We'll work for chicken."
I think it grew faster than any vision that we had. It surprised all of us.
Then, in 1982, Eldon passed away. The boys determined to carry on the growing business, and the Trilogy fleet grew with it.
When it comes right down to it, what makes Trilogy successful are the people, the crew, the captains.
Yeah, I started when I was 16, and I just really wanted just to surf and sail, but this became part of my family, and they accepted me and their family.
Dustin and Captain Ricky started out as really just kids as crew, and paid their dues, got their captain's license, and now they've made this their profession. And that's one of the things that we want to see more of here in the islands, are more island kids embracing this lifestyle and see them grow and become a first mate, and then realize that they can make this a vocation and turn into a consummate professional, a licensed captain that's running $500,000 boats.